Hello students, good morning. In the previous class we have discussed the nuclear reactor in the topic of nuclei. In that nuclear reactor parts we have discussed fuel, moderator, control rods, coolant, protection shield. They may ask you for the KSET and the NEET purpose, they will ask you the examples for the moderator, control rods, etc. Stainless steel generally they don't ask. Cadmium and boron used for the control rods. Moderators generally used are water, D2O, graphite. And fuel, uranium 235, plutonium Pu 239 are the most feasible, mostly used highly feasible nuclear fuels. Control rods, this SS stands for stainless steel, that generally rarely used, but in Kaiga power plant they are using the stainless steel rods for the absorption of the neutrons, called as the control rods. Moderators don't absorb neutrons, they just decrease the speed of the neutrons so that they become thermal neutrons. In some nuclear reactors they use even fast neutrons, but very rare cases. Small thermal neutrons only preferred in India. Next is power produced formula. Already we have discussed a number of atoms disintegrating, nuclei disintegrating, one atom equal to one nuclei. Atom number equal to nuclear number we take generally, n by T into E naught. E naught is the energy for one fission, that is 200 MeV. In the given, they will give you 1 kg. In 1 kg uranium, after that time, how much energy is produced after completion of all that. But generally, complete uranium will never disintegrate, it takes some thousands of years. But we generally, theoretically only we calculate that time taken to consume complete uranium. So if they give the mass, this is a molar mass for uranium-235, this capital becomes equal to 235 units in grams it becomes. CG system I am telling, into a molar mass, if you take the molecular weight or atomic weight itself is in grams you have to express, mass is given in grams if I am taking, and this is the number of particles are nuclei, this is a Avogadro's number. And number of particles and you have to substitute here and you will get the expression, this mu is the number of moles, then you will get the energy released per second or number of nuclear fissions taking place per second n by T or power in watts you may be calculating from this relationship. They will give the grams or kgs, no, this formula is useful in such cases. Next is the breeder reactor. Power reactor is to produce the electric power. Breeder reactor converts non-feasible material into feasible material like uranium-238 converted into plutonium-239. Uranium-238 is heavier than that uranium-235, but still it is not feasible it seems. That means it does not disintegrate, producing a large amount of energy. It does disintegrate but very slowly, releasing very less energy. So that is converted to plutonium-239. This is highly feasible material and more better than that of uranium-235 also. This uranium-238 is non-feasible, converted into feasible by colliding with the one neutron, one nucleus. This is related for one nucleus reaction, converting into uranium-92-239 isotope, which is unstable. Again, it is into neptunium-93-239, producing the one beta minus particles and antineutrinos, means electrons are emitted here. And this neptunium is unstable nuclei. Again, it disintegrates into plutonium-239-94. Here, Z number is increasing. Z means proton number is increasing, means neutrons are converted into protons inside the nucleus. Yeah, already excess neutrons are there which are converted into protons. So they emit the electrons. Proton converted means in the proton and electron will be there. Along with the electron, antineutrino is produced to conserve the angular momentum. So this feasible material is produced in the breeder reactor. They will ask you the equations. They may ask you X here and what is produced they may ask. So balancing the equation you have to check up. Next, this is related to the fission reactions we are discussing. Nuclear reactor, atom bomb works on the principle of fission reaction. Nuclear reactor controlled chain reaction and atom bomb is uncontrolled chain reaction. Next part is fusion reactions. When the mass number is very less, they become unstable by combining the two lighter nuclei. Generally we discuss the fusion of the hydrogen nuclei, that is the lightest nuclei we can take. 4 hydrogen nuclei can combine to form one helium nucleus, producing the energy in the order of 26 to 28 million electron volts. But proton combining is not easy process. They have to come very close to each other. Repulsion will be there, Coulomb repulsion. When the distance is in the order of 10 to the power of minus 15 meters or Fermi, then automatically attraction is produced because of the nuclear attraction forces between the proton and proton. So in this case, making that proton-proton combining is not an easy process. For that, high temperature is required. So that high temperature makes these particles have the high kinetic energy. The kinetic energy formula already you know for the gases as 3 by 2 kT for the monatomic gases. K is a Boltzmann constant, T is a absolute temperature. 400 kilo electron volts is approximately required for having this Coulomb barrier, means Coulomb repulsion force. To overcome this, the temperature required is very, very high in Kelvin scale discussing, and that for that purpose the temperature what is required we cannot create on the earth continuously for long time. It is possible to produce with the help of the lasers. With the help of lasers, by heating the gases, hydrogen gas, we can produce the temperature, very high temperature, but only for a fraction of a second, not continuously for a long time. And these protons only present, that is related to the plasma stage. On the sun and stars, naturally high temperature is there in the order of more than 10 to the power of 4 kelvins. And the sun 10 to the power of 4, 20 to the power of 5, like the temperature will be there, but up to 10 to the power of 7 will be there. But stars, the temperature in the order of 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 9 kelvins, very, very high temperature. And the stars, and the sun comparatively less temperature. Star is much, much bigger than that of the sun. We mean to say bigger stars we are discussing. And the state of the matter present on the sun and star is called as the plasma state. Is called the ionic state. In that ionic state, you will find the nuclei only separated from the electrons. Electrons do not revolve around the nucleus. It is called the naked nucleus, and that is called the pure plasma. Generally, any ions losing one electron, gaining extra electron, that is also called as a plasma. That is ionic state, but actually that is not a pure plasma. Pure plasma, we don't have the instrument to hold it, because that pure plasma, if you want to get the temperature is very, very high. At this temperature, all the materials, containers what we have will melt out. Then we don't have the material to hold this ionic, very high temperature ions. For that purpose, nuclear reactor is developed with the help of the magnetic bottle. It's called as a magnetic bottle, means magnetic field is produced, and in the magnetic field the charged particles, even if they are high temperatures, experience force, so that we have to adjust the coils. Or toroid we can take, or coils you have to take, a very strong magnetic field you have to provide, so that in these magnetic fields only these charged particles are trapped. This is a coil between these two. We can consider two circular coils also we can take, or toroid we can take. Inside the toroid, magnetic field can be produced. In that magnetic field, we can hold the charged particles. We have to adjust the magnetic field such that the charged particles experience a force. Always try to move within the field only, will not come out of it. We cannot see the charged particles, but we can only see the glow of the charged particles as they are moving. Energy is produced. That brightness means like a spark, continuous energy will be seen from the center. That reactor is called as a tokamak nuclear reactor. But this is only for experiment, still in the under experiment only. Recently China declared that they produce very high temperature equal to sun of temperature, but few seconds or minutes I think in this tokamak nuclear reactor. Next, Coulomb barrier already discussed. No. This high temperature required for these reactions taking place in sun and star, they are called the thermonuclear reactions. And the sun temperature is less, it's the equation is given as the proton-proton cycle, and stars it is we imagine that a new carbon-nitrogen cycle. Carbon acts as a catalyst for the reactions, where 4 protons, whatever the reaction you take in the fission reaction, theoretically so far we know is that 4 proton converted into helium nucleus, producing the energy of this much. But this is very less energy compared to nuclear fission reaction, where one reaction produces 200 MeV, but here only 26 MeV we are taking. But mass, if you check up, this hydrogen is very light particle, only 4 particles we are taking, but here we are taking uranium, means 235 particles we are taking. That means if you take the same quantity, 235 particles here also, then energy release will be very, very high here. So per unit mass, if you consider, the fission reaction produces very large energy compared to that of the fission reactions. And in the case of the fission reaction, what are the byproducts produced are not harmful ones. Helium is produced, but helium is nothing but alpha particles. They interact with they take 2 electrons from the surrounding air and will be neutralized. And beta, gamma particles are more dangerous one also. And apart from this, okay, one more thing is nuclear fission. Hydrogen bomb. Hydrogen bomb works on the principle of nuclear fission. But for the hydrogen bomb purpose, what is the temperature required that is produced by nuclear fission only? So far, only one experiment is done making this hydrogen bomb by the America, but North Korea also claimed that they made it, but we don't know exactly. These are the points related to atoms. Next, problems linked to this topic of nuclei. Theoretical points for the nuclei and problems we discuss. First problem, particle A is converted to particle C as follows by the nuclear reactions. A converted to B, emitting 1 alpha particles, and B converted to C by producing 2 beta minus particles. Here, whenever the nuclei we are taking this, you take it as a XZA, emitting alpha particles. Alpha particles means 2He4, 2 protons, 2 neutrons. This is a mass number. So total particles is 4 particles are thrown out. Alpha particle thrown out from the nucleus means 4 particles are coming out. 2 protons are there means 2 positive charges, 2. Z is related to the positive charge. that is atomic number. So this converted into new nuclei, generally it is called the daughter nuclei also. This A reduced by 4 units, A minus 4, but Z reduced by 2 units if it emits alpha particles. But if it emits beta particles, beta minus particles, this is a beta minus. Beta minus means electrons emission. Whenever the electron emission, no, antineutron is produced here. Neutron converted into proton. Whenever the neutron converted into proton, you will get the beta minus particles. And proton can be converted into neutrons. Protons converted into neutrons. Lighter particle converted into neutrons inside the nucleus. And charge 0, mass 1 plus, you will get beta plus particles. Neutron. This is called as a positron, antiparticle of electron. This is electron. This is called as a beta plus particles. Most of the cases we get beta minus, but some isotopes can produce, radioisotopes can produce even beta plus also. Lighter nuclei, lighter radioactive nucleus. So neutron converted to proton produces beta minus. Whenever the beta minus is produced one particle, then proton number is increasing by 1 unit. Mass number remains same. So proton number increase means Z increases by 1 unit. 1 beta particle means Z plus 1. 2 beta particle means Z plus 2. Like that you take. If you mention it as a beta plus emission is there. Beta plus emission means what? Proton is converted to neutron. That means Z decreases by 1 unit. Z decreases by 1 unit when a beta plus particle is produced, and Z increases by 1 unit when beta minus produced, and alpha particle emitted means Z decreases by 2 units. Please check up these reactions carefully. This is required for the next part of this nuclear topic, radioactivity. In that also these equations are required. Next, here, so here what happening? It is emitting the alpha particles. When it emits alpha particles, Z decreases by 2 units, A decreases by 4 units. This A and Z are changing. They are not isotopes, they are not isobars. In this question they asked whether they are isotopes or isobars, like that. Next, B is unstable, again disintegrated. Disintegrated means nuclear properties changing, is called as disintegration by emitting alpha particles. When it emits alpha particles. So this beta B nuclei converted into C nucleus by emitting 2 beta minus particles, means 2 electrons. 2 electrons are there means neutron converted into protons, means proton number increases by each electrons emitted means proton number increases by 1 unit. 2 electrons emitted means proton number increases by 2 units. Here Z is there, Z minus 2, it becomes equal to plus 2 additionally. Z minus 2 already there, plus 2 because of this emission. Z plus 2 minus 2 cancels, result is Z. That means A also has a Z, C also has a Z, same values. A change different. They are not isobars, but they are isotopes. Proton number is same, it means. Next is 70th question, 70. Deuteron binding energy per nucleon is given for the deuterons. Deuteron is nothing but isotope of the hydrogen with 1 neutron extra inside the nucleus along with the protons. Proton plus neutron, mass number is 2 you have to take. So deuteron mass number is 2. And binding energy per nucleon, given this symbol they have given as equals to x1. So binding energy becomes equal to x1 into AD. And for alpha particle, binding energy is given per nucleon, that is specific binding energy, or binding energy per nucleon is given as x2. So B alpha by mass number is of alpha particle equal to x2. So B E equal to A into X, it becomes cross multiplied. Binding energy we are going to use. And for alpha particle, mass number is 4 units. They told the 2 deuteron nuclei combined to form the helium nucleus, releasing some energy. What is the energy? We have to get the expression for. Energy released or energy absorbed, plus minus symbols, you know, exothermic and endothermic relations. Here we are discussing the differences only produced. So 1H2, 1H2. 1H2, 1H2 means 2 times 1H2 it is. 1H2 is related to deuterium. What is the binding energy of this deuterium is equal to x1 into AD. So x1 into AD, this is for 1H2 terms. 2 times, 2 combined means 2 times. Is equals to of that of alpha particles. Alpha particles binding energy is x2 into A alpha, x2 into A alpha plus energy relation. Mass number of this deuterium is 2. 2 into x1, 2 into 2 is 4x1, this is 4x2 cube. So Q becomes equal to 4x1 minus 4x2, minus you can take out common, that only indicates exothermic inertial relations, energy released. The expression option given is 4 times x2 minus x1. Next problem, 28 number. Number of protons, electrons, neutrons in nuclei of aluminum 1327 they are asked to find out. Be careful with the word nuclei. They may ask the same question for the atom. 13 is a Z, means number of protons, 27 is a mass number, neutron number plus proton number. So we represent the nuclei with this symbol of the atom, Z13, A27. Number of neutrons means 27 minus 13. But they asked inside the nucleus. Inside the nucleus, electrons are not there. So number of protons will be equal to 13. Number of neutrons will be equal to 27 minus 13 is equals to 14. And number of electrons is 0. So order, you have to be careful with the order also. What they ask first is protons, electrons and neutrons. Proton number is 13, electron number is 0, neutron number is 14. This is inside nucleus. If they ask you about for the atom, for this atom or the electrons means number of protons will be equal to number of electrons. So if you take for atom 13, 13, 14 will be the answer. This is for atom, this is for the nucleus. Next question is 79th one. Radius of the nuclei of mass number is given as 276 is. R0 is given, that is the proportionality constant of the radius expression for the nucleus is 1.2 Fermi. This R equal to R0 into a to the power of 1 by 3 formula we have for the radius. Volume is nothing but equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. So volume is proportional to A, but radius is proportional to a to the power of 1 by 3. A is a mass number. It is independent of the Z, it only depends on the mass numbers. So this R0 substitute 1.2, A is equals to 216, 216 we can write as 6 cube to the power of 1 by 3, power cancel, 6 remains, 6 into 1.2 is 7.2 Fermi, 7.2 Fermi or 7.2 to the power of minus 15 meters or femtometer it's called as. Next question is, for deuteron, binding energy per nucleon is given as 1.12 million volts, this is important ones, for million electron volts. For alpha particle, binding energy per nucleon is given as equals to 7.2 million electron volts. So how much energy is released when the two deuterons are combined to form the helium nucleus, they ask the question. That means you will get this relation as 2 deuterons, 2 times binding energy for each deuteron you take it is equals to this mass number of the deuteron into 1.12. Deuteron is 1H2, deuteron is 1H2, that is the isotope of hydrogen. A is nothing but equal to 2 for this mass number. For helium, which is a nucleus, alpha particle helium nucleus, mass number is 4. So binding energy becomes equal to 4 into 7.1. This becomes equal to 2 into 1.12. But 2 times you are adding, this whole becomes equal to 4 times 1, 2. This is a 4 times 7.1. 4 you can take out common. The difference you multiply, you will get the Q value equal to 23.92, sometimes taken as approximately 24 million electron volts. Next question is 90th question. This 90th question is only for JEE students, not for CET. And rarely asked for the NEET, but important is for the JEE students. Previously this kind of problem was asked for the AEEE long back, now it is not there. Mass of the chlorine nucleus, electron mass you can neglect, if you give the mass of the atom also take it as a nucleus mass approximately same. Chlorine 1735, Z mass number. Total nucleus mass is given 34.98 U, small u. Small u is the unit of atomic mass units. One atomic mass unit is approximately equal to mass of the proton. If they ask you what is the energy released when one proton is destroyed, convert the mass into energy equal to mc square you have to use. Mass of the proton you have to take, you already know the value, or they will give you the values place. Mass of the proton they will give you in terms of this AMU. And if you use the AMU, don't use C here. You have to use kg is given means you take it as a mass, kgs if you take means C you have to use 3 × 10⁸ meter per second. Grams given means convert into kgs. But if they give AMU terms means don't use C here. If they give AMU terms, if they give into 931.5 million electron volts you will get. So if you give in terms of the AMU means use the conversion into million electron volts. Million electron volts you can convert into joules also. This value is also equal to 1.5 × 10⁻⁻10 joules, that is value of 1 AMU value. So if they give in AMU, don't use C please. If they give kg, you use C or C square for the energy calculations. If you use C square, you will get in joules. If you get in 931.5 multiplication, you will get in AMUs, million electron volts. So here for this chlorine nucleus 1735, mass of the neutron is given in AMU, mass of the proton is given AMU. They will give you the data. You don't have to remember this mass of proton and neutrons. And even for the electrons, they will give you the values. With that only you have to calculate. Mass of the neutron is given for you. Find the binding energy required for the binding of these nuclei to form this nucleus. Mass defect formula what we have is total mass of the nucleons, difference of mass of the nucleus. This is the nuclear mass. The difference is nothing but equal to mass defect. Actually, if this is finally formed, no, final minus initial defect, no, minus comes. Minus comes means decrease in mass. But we take the large minus smaller for the calculation purposes to have the negative sign. So Z number, this is mass of the total mass of the protons, number of protons into mass of each proton, number of neutrons into mass of each neutron. This is a Z value. Number of protons Z is 17. This is Z, and this is nothing but equal to A, mass number. So Z is nothing but equal to 17 into mass of the proton value, and A minus Z, mass of the neutrons, 35 minus 17 into mass of the each neutron, this value in AMU. Mass of the nucleus, difference you have to take that substitution and you will get the mass defect. Steps will be more only, and you have to calculate without calculator also. And binding energy is nothing but equal to mass defect into C square. This is in joules you will get, but you are taking in AMUs, so directly calculate the mass defect in AMU, difference only, multiplication and difference, into 931.5 MeV, and you will get the answer as 287.83 million electron volts. Next question is 94th question. For helium nucleus, binding energy is given as 28 million electron volts. That is the energy required to bind the nucleons to form the nucleus, 2 protons, 2 neutrons for the helium nucleus. Same energy required to break the particles into infinite separation. Find the specific binding energy. Specific binding energy is also called as a average binding energy per nucleon. So that is B by A, mass number you have to divide with. For the helium nucleus, A is equals to 4. Binding energy given as 28 MeV, and average binding energy is nothing but equal to binding energy by number of nucleons. By 4 is 7 MeV. This is for alpha particles, 2He4. Next is for positron. Kinetic energy is given as equals to 1 MeV, million electron volts, and for electron kinetic energy is 1 million electron volts. Both electrons and positron are coming in the opposite directions and then meeting. This is E plus E minus. Coming with these kinetic energies means they have the velocities, equal kinetic energy combined. Whenever the electron positron combined, their mass they lose the mass, means total mass is destroyed and converting into energy. That is called as annihilation. Annihilation is the destruction of the mass converting into energy, complete destruction. Now in this case, if you take the mass converting into energy, E equal to mc square. If you take the mass converting into energy for the only electron or only positron, both have the equal masses but opposite charges only, unlike charges. So if you convert only electron at rest into energy, only positron into energy at rest, the energy release will be 0.5 MeV. You have to remember this 0.51. You have to remember this value. For electron only or positron only, the energy release when converted mass into energy is E equal to mc square terms. You will get the energy release is 0.51. At rest it is. This is at rest. But now they are not at rest. Okay, first let us check out what happens if at rest. If they are at rest, if they are combined, just touched, then energy release will be sum of these two energies. 0.51 plus 0.51 will be equal to 1.02 MeV. This is going to be 1.02 MeV energy released just at rest. And 1 gamma plus 1 gamma is equals to 2 gamma. That means energy release appears in the form of the gamma rays, and to conserve the momentum, angular momentum, they are photons. Photons do have the spin. So these gamma rays will travel one direction, other gamma ray will travel in opposite directions. So 2 gamma rays produced means they travel in opposite directions. That is what scientists say. And next is, here they are not at rest, but they are moving. When they have the kinetic energies, then they combine, the extra loss of kinetic energy is also converted into gamma rays. So here we have 0.51 plus 1 MeV plus 1 MeV. This also has 0.151 plus 1 MeV. This is because of the mass, this is because of the motion. Anyway, then these two are combined. Extra energy is 1 MeV plus 1 MeV is nothing but equal to plus 2 MeV. So total energy release is nothing but equal to 3.2 plus 1, 3.02 million electron volts energy release. That means you may get the values, this gamma rays more than So I'll write here only 2 gamma plus extra gammas. Rays are produced depending on the energies. This is called as an annihilation process. They ask at rest energy, that is this value, and they may ask in the kinetic energies are they present, means how much total energy happens. Just add the total energies. Next is the reverse process. The reverse process is called as a pair production. In the case of the pair production, energy is absorbed converting into mass. Whenever the energy absorbed converting into mass, whenever any material absorbs the gamma rays of particular energy, then electron positron pair are produced. So here gamma rays energy if absorbed is 1.02 MeV only, then you will get the electron positron pair, each is having the mass of this value or energy equal to mass relationship, but at rest they don't have the kinetic energies, equally producing energies. And if they have the extra energy, whatever the extra energy is there, that 1.02 MeV more than that, this is a reverse process called as a pair productions. Then the extra energy is converted into kinetic energies, equal divided for the two particles that run away from the place in the opposite directions. Next, level 2 problems. A matchbox contain nuclear material, means only nuclear you are keeping. Nuclear density is very high, then but atom density is very less. Why? Because density is nothing but equal to mass by volume. If you take a ship is or boat is made of a metal. If you take also that metal, say for example iron density is very high, but it won't sink in the water because you are making into the shape, hollow shape. So this total volume you need to consider. When the volume increases, density decreases. If the density, overall density of the whole object is less than that of the water, it won't sink. It floats in the water if the density is less. But if any hole comes is made to this ship or boat, then water goes inside. Now that iron density you only have to consider, that will be sinking. Boat complete volume considering effective density is different from the metal density. Same thing happens here also. You are taking the nucleus. Nucleus is having very high density because the nucleons are very close to each other, having a corresponding the mass. The density is equals to mass by volume. Volume is very less, means density is very high. How much is that density of the nucleus? Is in the order of it is. Order means per 10 power only we mentioned. That means for nucleus to nucleus of the periodic table elements, 1 into 2 into the exact small number multiplication comes, but order will be this value. Small variation only there. You have to remember all these relations. Density of the nucleus in the order of 10 to the power of 17. They will ask the question for the for the argon, the density 10 to the power of 7 kg per cubic meter for its nucleus. What is the density of the sodium atoms nucleus? They will ask you. Density is same place. Order is same only. They don't ask multiplication number. They never ask. And you are given this one more thing here. If you take the volume of the atom, if you have taken the volume, radius is very large here compared to the radius of the nucleus. Therefore, the atom density if you have taken means the volume is very high now. Because of the radius, now volume is very high, means automatically density decreases. So atom has a less density than the nucleus. Next is matchbox contain nucleus material. The matchbox size is given as 5 cm into 5 cm into 1 cm. That is a length, breadth, height, volume, and it is filled with the nucleus only. Then what is the density of the nucleus? Where you can such kind of arrangement of only nuclei present is inside the dead stars converting into neutron stars. That in that process it is possible to have the only nuclei combining, converting into neutrons only neutrons may be there also, later conversions. Next, density of the nucleus is this much, volume equal to length into breadth into height, 5 into 5 into 1 is 25 cubic centimeters. I converted into cubic meters but not compulsory, but the final answer is given in CGS only. You can take only in CGS. In such case, this one you have to convert into grams. 1 kg equal to 10 to the power of 3 grams. You can convert this and show the result in CGS, or else I did at the end. I took everything in SI system. Density equal to mass by volume. So mass you are asked to find out. Mass equal to volume into density. Volume is 25 10 to the power of minus 6 into density is 10 to the power of 17 kg approximately equal, is equals to 25 10 to the power of 11 you will get. Convert this into 2.5 10 to the power of 12 it becomes. Why we have to convert is we have to ask to find out only the order of the mass, means 10 power you have to show it. When you are taking the order, this multiplication number should be less than 5, it should not be more than 1. 5. If it is more than 5 plus 1 you have to add there. 25 means directly you can take this order if you want to convert, no, 10 to the power of 12 you can express as. So mass equal to 2.5 10 to the power of 12, this is a kgs, converting into grams, no, 10 to the power of 3, 1000 grams equal to 1 kg 10 to the power of 3 means 10 to the power of 15. So this answer is, mass is in the order of 10 to the power of 15 grams. Or 10 to the power of 12 kg. Next question is nucleus splitting into two smaller nuclei of radius R1 and R2. One heavy nucleus is splitting into smaller particles. The splitting takes place from internally. It is just a spontaneous occurring reaction, and the particles which are produced may be running away from each other. Initial momentum, initial nucleus at rest, so velocity is 0, mass is m, momentum, initial momentum is 0. Momentum is conserved because the force is internal force, total momentum before equal to total momentum after. 0 equal to m1 v1 plus m2 v2. So here m1 v1 equal to minus of m2 v2, minus indicates they are moving in the opposite directions. You are asked to find out what is the ratio of their velocities. Their velocities ratio they asked. You are given the radius ratio, you are asked to find out velocities ratios. This problem is important for all the exams, even for the KCET. You don't have to take all the steps, please. Wherever mass is just take in terms of the mass, replace with the mass numbers. m1 v1 equal to m2 v2. So v1 by v2 equal to m2 by m1. Mass ratios. Mass means mass number, you take a2 by a1. So we are given that a2 and the radius relation we know is radius is proportional to a to the power 1 by 3, or a is proportional to r cube. We can take r cube equal to a is proportional to a. So wherever you are taking this a relation, now we can replace with r cube. That means r2 by r1 whole cube we can take in terms of the v1 by v2 reverse ratio. We will get for the velocities and radius. This is not volume, please. It is the velocities. R2, R1 by R2, you have to be careful with the reverse ratio. What is given is R1 by R2 is 1 by 2. So you take it as equals to 2 by 1. Cube means 2 cube is 8. The answer is 8 is to 1. Next 21 question number. This is level 2. Power of nuclear reactor. Power of nuclear reactor is given as 3.2 megawatts, and they are using uranium-235 in it. Find the number of fissions per minute they ask. Okay, per second not asked, per minute they ask. 1 minute is nothing but equal to 60 seconds. So if you take all in SI units, no, time will be in seconds only. You have to get. In this case, per 1 second means 1 by 60 of a minute. So taking this per second, if you take n by t per second, if I calculate the power, because I am taking the SI units, so what you get is power is a 3.2 megawatt. It is million watts or mega. Mega means 10 to the power of 6. Million also, mega also means 10 to the power of 6. And energy per fission taking place is nothing but equal to 200 MeV. Converting into joules. 200 into 1 million, 10 to the power of 6 into 1 electron volt converting to joules is 1.6 10 to the power of minus 19 joules. And substitute the values into this. You are asked the number of fissions per minute. Per second, n by t is equal to p by e naught. Power is 3.2 10 to the power of 6. E naught is 200 into 10 to the power of 6 and 1.10 to the power of minus 9. This part you can take directly without calculator. You can take this equals to 1 by e value. 1 by e value is nothing but equal in 1 coulomb relation you will get. That is nothing but equal to 6.25 into 10 to the power of 18. So directly you can take this value as equals to 6.25 into the power of 18. Remaining calculation will be easy for you. That n by t, you will get it per second. Per second, 1 second is nothing but equal to, per second means by second. By second is nothing but equal to 1 by 60 minutes. So this is fissions per second it is, which is equals to, per minute means into 60 please. This is equals to dash into 60, you will get per minute. Dash, you will get the answer for this. The answer is 6 into 10 to the power of 18. 6 into 10 to the power of 18 result, final result. 6 into 10 to the power of 18 fissions per minute. In this nuclei, I divided into two parts. One is the what we have discussed. The other one is radioactivity. Radioactivity we take separate video.